Hello, good evening and welcome to all of you. Thanks to all of you for joining before time, and we are starting exactly at 5 p.m. I'm so happy to do that. My name is Gangadhar and I'm facilitating this talk about mudras which are effective towards handling the symptoms of COVID. Since the COVID third wave, we are all expecting that, and the cases are rising. We thought that this would be a right time to do that. And who else can be more apt for this than our beloved Professor Iyer, who is here live with us and agreed to come and tell us about these three mudras that will be very effective. So the way we will handle this is till 5:30 he will talk, and questions can be answered after 5:30 till 5:45. Okay. The background also to this is few weeks back we did a very focused mudra session on diabetes and on blood pressure. So I have the recording of that as well, and we are recording today's as well. And my number is 98451626367. Professor Iyer is also the author of the book on mudras. It is available both in English and Kannada, and it is not available online. We'll have to buy it from him only. So if anybody wants to buy that book, you can send a message to my WhatsApp number, and it is also at the bottom left screen, bottom left of the screen, and you can send me a WhatsApp message for that. So there are more recordings that I have. When I say more, up to 7 or 8 recordings with Professor Iyer. When I used to take a class on mudras, many of the classes he has come and joined the class and given his very valuable information. And I'm very thankful to him to do that. And even before that, 3 to 4 years ago when we met him, 4 years ago when we met him, he is also recorded about 2 hours in depth about the mudras, the science behind mudras and all that. So today we will not go into the basics of mudras. Those of you who are new to mudras can actually contact me on the WhatsApp and I'll share those recordings to you. Today we'll straight away go into the 3 mudras that help us during COVID times. Over to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us once again. My respects to you. So till 5:30, you are free to speak. And after 5:30, we will take questions from the audience, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hello, hey everybody. I'm very happy to be with you again for some discussion which interests all of us. Probably it is a global question and global interest that is there. And it has threatened us quite deeply in these days. But one of the things that we have to be very clearly understand is that we should not be afraid of this one. We should not be afraid of this one, and then say boldly, never anything happens to us. And it is quite clear that the spread is very vast, and it has affected almost globally, especially America has been affected by the third wave to a very great extent. Even though it is not so much in our country, we are seeing every day increase in the number of these third wave COVID problems. Now, unless we personally realize that it is in our interest to take precaution, it is very difficult to spread widespread of this particular malady. We have to understand our responsibilities first of all, and then see that we follow the protocol whenever we are outside our houses, and then our mingling with people or as per our requirements. So that is quite essential. And then most of the time we see that people do not understand this one, because by nature we are people who are crowding one another with one another, and that comes to unwittingly we will go nearer to the people and then also speak to them without masks and all that, because it comes unwittingly. That's a habit that is there. but we have to make a special effort to understand the requirements whenever we are going to be to a company with a lot of people around us, like in markets or in vegetable purchasing and those areas. So we have to take precautions, because without precaution, without our understanding, no remedy can be successful. No remedy can be successful. And next thing is we have to have confidence in ourselves. Whenever anything happens, we should not get upset completely. That is one thing which counts us quickly. No. Why can mudras help us also in this regard? Mudra is a science which is basic in its and can depend upon one for some remedials also, if anything is required to be done. No. What are the things that we can expect from it? No, the first thing that is affected by this malady is the breathing question. Our breathing gets affected and our lungs gets affected. And so that is the basic problem that we face. And also about fever, and then breathing problems, and then cough, and then such things are the ones which we come across when anything happens to us. Now, we should not get scared of this one, and we should see what is required to be done. And then if required, whatever medication that is required by the suggested one, we have to probably resort to that one also. But mudras can help a lot in this regard, because that encourages to have confidence in us. And then we should, unless if you have understood what mudras can give us, then there is absolutely no problem. And we need not have to be scared of this particular thing. We can face it and then get over that one boldly, as Mr. Gangadhar has already done it, because they were affected before. And then how mudras have helped them entirely to come out of it boldly, that has given us a lot of encouragement also. So please remember that our attitude is an extremely important thing. And the minimum things that we can do, we can always do, and then get over this problem. That may be for a few days, and we have to be facing that particular problem and then get over it. Now, what are the mudras that we can think of to help us to get over this problem? One of the most important mudras, which you must have already heard when general mudras we were studying, is this Udana Mudra. Udana Mudra is a very, very helpful mudra. Please remember, because especially for breathing problems, and then throat problems. For throat problems, Udana Mudra is a extremely valuable mudra. What is this mudra? For example, if you have just consider these fingers, and then all the 4 fingers except the small one, all the 4 fingers brought together. Just see. That is Udana Mudra. Small finger, the other 4 brought together to the tips of the tongue. So that is Udana Mudra. This Udana Mudra it looks so simple, but it's an extremely effective mudra, because I have seen myself how effective it is, because there are many people, my own, for example, 2 daughters were suffering from it once, several weeks ago. And then when I suggested this Udana Mudra, within a few hours, they came to near normals, without, in about a few hours. So to that effect, we can expect effect from this particular mudra. Again, you please remember, it is so simple. Just 4 fingers, the 3 middle fingers, and then except the small one, and then the thumb together like this. That is important. It completely clears the throat. The pain that you feel in the throat, which makes you sometimes feel not even able to speak, and then also breathe properly, and pain also that is there allied with that one. All these things can be controlled by means of this mudra, particular one mudra. I've seen 4 examples in my own eyes when I was seeing them suffering from that particular one, and then I suggested this particular mudra, and then when they did it as required, it is such a very useful mudra. It has such a definite effect for that particular purpose. So please remember that this is an extremely valuable mudra for particular for this one. Now, how does it COVID, and how is it related to COVID? Now, if you just remember the main functions of mudra, then we can understand how it can help us the COVID problem also. Now, first of all, it controls all the parts near the throat, all the parts, all these things, including the upper parts, that is the nose and throat especially. That is one thing. And then it is also controlling what is called Udana Vayu. Udana Vayu, as you know, is one of the five parts of the strength system. Five Vayus are there. Vayu, Prana Vayu, Apana Vayu, Udana Vayu, Samana Vayu, and Vyana. So these 4 are in control of various parts of the body. And in that, Udana Vayu is in control of from the throat upwards, all the parts from the throat upwards. So Udana Vayu's responsibility is to see that those parts are controlled properly. So one advantage is this Udana Vayu is under control. When it is brought under control, we know that the breathing problems get eased out. So it becomes easy for us to take this particular attitude, the particular mudra to be formed. So when it is formed, it controls the Udana Vayu. And then the parts near about this throat, all about the throat, especially the thyroid and parathyroid problems. Now, thyroid and parathyroid problems, are very important hormones, because when anything happens, any virus attack happens in the body, then the hypothalamus gets information through our mudras, and the hypothalamus consults the pituitary and pineal glands, and then the required order or suggestion is given to the thyroid and parathyroid problems. Now, these thyroid and parathyroid problems, the hormones get the suggestions from the brain, and then they create various types of cells specific for the requirement. For example, the T cells are created by the thyroid problems, and the B cells, what is called as B cells, are created by the adrenal that is a hormone. So these various types of defensive cells, attacking cells, and then clearing cells, all these are different types of cells which are created by these 2 hormones, thyroid and parathyroid and glands. These secrete those hormones as required for the situation and as suggested by the brain. Take hold of this particular attack of viruses. So viruses are controlled or as required, whether it is to be destroyed by a fierce defense system, fierce attacking system, or the virus is more effective than a defense system. Defense cells are separate, and they are also created, and that is why we can either attack or defend the virus problems. So these things automatically take shape according to the requirement of the situation. And once this attack is over and we become normal, then the sweeping cells also come up into the picture, and then they sweep out what is the debris of the attacks, of the battle that has gone on. This, and then they get thrown out by the other limbs of the body. So that is what takes place whenever an attack of the virus takes place in the body, in the near especially near the breathing system, because COVID attacks the breathing system mostly. It comes near the breathing, and the throat is the first thing that is to be affected. So our throat gets cleared, our throats and our lungs gets cleared. That is one very important thing. Lungs gets cleared and our throat gets cleared and our breathing becomes normal, slowly to back to normal. So that is the effect of this particular mudra. It makes all these changes in the body. So control of the throat problem, pain also reduces, breathing becomes a simple, normal and simple, and then lungs gets cleared. And also it has effect on the calcium metabolism system in the body and also in the kidneys. They control this, the particular mudra controls the kidneys also. So it has so much of advantages to be done. And this particular mudra is very effective. You can do it starting from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. And then number of times you can take it 3 times or 4 times a day. And especially when you're attacked by any this particular malady, you increase either the period or number of times to be done per day. So it can be, for example, 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes at a time, repeated some 4 or 5 times, or 15 minutes, repeated 3 times, or even 5 times, repeated about 6 times a day. So that way you can control this gradually, and then it has to be done as long as your fever and then throat problems are not there. So that is one mudra which is extremely helpful to us in COVID times. Remember Udana Mudra. There is a great friend of ours in these times. And is a very great preventive also. So even if you do not have time, this attack, you can do it 2 times a day at least, for 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. So that also you can do as a preventive also, because that keeps our throat area very clear. That's the great advantage of this particular mudra, Udana Mudra. So this is a great friend of ours during especially the present times, and then we have to remember this constantly. And then the second mudra that is also helpful is what is called as bronchial mudra. Bronchial mudra is done by the 3 fingers being brought into position with the thumb in 3 positions. For example, the small finger is bent, brought to the base of the thumb like this, to the base of the thumb, and the ring finger to the mid joint of the thumb, and then the middle finger is brought to the top of the thumb, top tip of the finger kept straight. Now that is bronchial mudra. Bronchial mudra. This is a very important also because it reduces the noises that may be there in the throat, just to reduce any cough that we get also. So cough also with that one in this particular when it is attacking us, it is to be reduced also. Fever and throat troubles, these are to be controlled with the COVID. And then this is one of the mudras which controls that particular noises that may be there in the throat and also the pain in the throat. So it helps us to reduce that particular aspect, and this is called as bronchial mudra. It is associated with asthma, because before doing the asthma mudra, this is done for 5 minutes at least in the preliminary stage, and then asthma mudra is done later on. So this particular mudra is also helpful because it reduces the cough problems and pain problem also, and hence this is a very helpful mudra to Udana mudra along with the mudra. This is mudra. So that is the second mudra that, and the third mudra that is there, mudras which you know also, which we are very familiar also. So this Prana Mudra is an extremely helpful mudra to many of the ailments that we have, including this particular mudra, that particular malady, that is COVID. So this for COVID also, we can end it up with Prana Mudra, which is helpful to stabilize and see that the other mudras are properly helped also. So this Prana Mudra has got various advantages. As we have already said, because it's a common mudra. Now, helps are, especially when our eyes are finding it difficult, then it helps us to reduce eye problems. So, for example, many people will find that it's very difficult to open or close our eyes many times, especially when fever is there. So, in such circumstances, this helps a lot. Prana Mudra helps a lot. Eye problems. And then the combination of body and mind functions are also brought about very easily by means of this particular mudra. Body and mind functions. You know, body, if affected, mind also gets affected. If mind gets affected, body also gets affected. And then these two are in relationship with each other very closely. And then if to bring them into close relationships, see that they are properly functioning properly together, Prana Mudra helps a lot. Prana Mudra is a very important mudra for that particular requirement of balancing between the mind problem and their body problems. So they are closely brought together by means of Prana Mudra. That is one very important thing. Now, as you know, this is very important for blood circulation in the body throughout our nadi systems. So blood circulation becomes normal and then unobstructed, which is a very important requirement for our living conditions. As the science itself is one of the basic sciences, science systems. And so for requirement of the biovis, of that, this blood should be circulating. I mean, the stress, the strength along with the blood should be circulating properly in the nadis and the blood streams. So the bloodstream and the nadis, they have to be properly circulating to every part of the body. And that is brought about easily by Prana Mudra. That is another very important aspect of it. Prana Mudra, which you know is bringing in the thumb, along with the ring finger and the small finger. The other two fingers kept straight like this. So this Prana Mudra is the most common mudra that we do for even normal requirements also, because at the end of any mudra that we do, Prana Mudra is to be done, as we have seen earlier. So this Prana Mudra is helpful. This COVID condition also. It sees that our strength and the blood are properly circulating in the nadis and the bloodstream properly. That is another advantage of this Prana Mudra. Prana Mudra is also used for resistance of most of the diseases. If you regularly do this every day, even the resistance to any other malady that we may be suffering from is also brought about by this particular resistance. That is another advantage of this particular mudra. As hunger and this doing upavasam, for example, then we can control yourself with the hunger by means of this, and also thirst. Thirst and hunger can be controlled by means of this particular mudra. You know, other effects of this one. Diabetes, for example, can be controlled along with the Apana Mudra. Apana Mudra and Prana Mudra are two mudras which are used for control of diabetes. And then that is very important. Even prostate problems can be controlled by means of this particular Prithvi Mudra. Prithvi Mudra plus Mudra can control your state problems. And another thing, advantage is it also supplies almost all the vitamins that we require. So we need not go in for separate vitamins to be taken into the body. Prevents tablets. Actually, no tablets need to be taken as vitamins for our normal functioning of the various parts. So the vitamins are also supplied by means of this particular mudra. So Prana Mudra has got such several advantages, and then this has to be done along with the main one. So these are the three mudras which ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅವ್ರ ರೂಮ್ಗೆ. So these three mudras, if we carefully do this systematically and without any difficulty, then I think we can control this disease or prevent this disease also from coming to us. And during this time, especially when it is in a peak period, it may be necessary to do it every day. At least for 5 minutes, you let us do. That is very important. So if there's any attack of this to any of us, then we should not get afraid of that one and get scared of that one, but start doing something. And ultimately, please remember, we have to be remembering God in any form that you think of, whatever form you are used to, because ultimately we can do something in our hands, but the disposal of the struggle is in His hands. What He plans, that only takes place. You have to believe in that one, whether you like it or not. We have to believe that there is a force which is unknown to us, which always a witness of what we are doing, and then helps us whenever required and guides us whenever required. Only we have to be alert and then hear what it is, and then body to know what is required to be done through the mind and body. These are indicators. They indicate many times directly and sometimes indirectly also as to what we have to do. Only we are not hearing those indications. We are not capable of doing that one. And unless we neglect that one, we are capable, but if we neglect that one, say nothing, there is nothing then like that. But we have to be careful and then see what the body and the mind requires, and then see that bad thoughts do not come. Do never say, "Ayo, this is God has given me like this, has made me like this." No, never do that one. Never impose anything on God, because God is always for our safety, because He is our creator, and the creator does not destroy for nothing at all, for unnecessarily things. So we have to believe in that the creator is there to help me to get out of any of these problems. And if we remember that one, that is what is required. And I'm happy to associate with you like this. And I'm very happy to give my views in this matter. And I hope it will help you a lot. Thank you, and then wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, sir. And you are such a good timekeeper that you exactly stopped at 5:30. Thanks for doing that also, knowingly or unknowingly. And it has been, I must say, that it is just not his talk. When in April, Ramya, I and one of the kids, we got COVID in April 2019. We did not take any other English medicine. We just managed with homeopathy and the three mudras that he told today. Okay, the Udana mudra, the bronchial mudra, and then for pain I used to use Shunya Vayu mudra, right? And I just managed with these things. So we are talking with a lot of self experience as well. Those of you who want to buy his book, before we go into the Q&A session, those of you who want to buy his book, it's not available online or on Amazon. You'll have to WhatsApp me on 98451 62637, and it will be couriered to you. Once it is couriered to you, you can pay. The book costs about 200 rupees plus. It's in English and it's in Hindi, Kannada as well. We don't have in any other languages. And those of you who want an even more in-depth understanding of mudras, I have created 2 sets of classes along with Professor Iyer. One is called the maintenance mudras, where there are 5 mudras that we do even when we are in good health to continue our good health. And there is therapeutic mudras, which these are the mudras that we do like Udana Mudra. We do it only when we have a problem. And once the problem is over, we just stop it. So there are 8 classes for therapeutic mudras and 8 classes for the maintenance mudras as well. If anybody wants, you can subscribe to that as well. For that also, you have to message me on WhatsApp. Now we'll allow the floor to be open for questions by any of you. We'll give higher preference to people who want to ask related to COVID. I know some of you may be new to Mudras, might be attending the first session, but we have had many sessions before this with Professor Iyer, and we have cleared many basic questions. So we'll give higher preference to questions related to COVID and to chest and to the throat. All right. So please go ahead, please. And just tell your name and your city. And if possible, switch on your video and I will make you part of the, I'll pin your video as well, and then you can ask a question. Yeah, unmute and start speaking, please.
Hey, sorry, Gangu, Vivek here.
Yeah, hi, Vivek.
Absolutely no questions, but I'm grateful for you and Professor Iyer as well to set this call up. It was a good session. In fact, I had not attended any of the previous sessions that you mentioned. I mean, sorry, I could not, switch on the video. Now with all this work from home things,
No
we
problem,
don't want to get in the video, right? Okay, but otherwise, I mean, I would like to buy a book anyway. I will WhatsApp you as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, great. I mean, it was great to see Professor Iyer. In fact, with all that experience that he had and the way he explained, it was pretty good, sir. Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to mention.
Thank you. Thank
you. Sorry, I'm Vinay.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
I missed out in the first portion because I was speaking to my son. Unfortunately, he has got COVID at the moment and he's not in India. So we had a lot of problem regarding that because certain medicines are not available like homeopathic or Ayurvedic and all. So I really would like to know some of the mudras. Like first I'll take a book from you and the basic mudras which can help him. Of course, this is now 7th day. And in Australia, it takes more than 72 hours to give the report. So he had a tough time between those 7 days. I mean, somebody is from Singapore giving him the homeopathic some instructions and all, and food also from outside. So I think mudras may help him a lot, I feel, because
no doubt it will help you because that is immediately you can do. One he can do immediately these 3 mudras and then start. In fact, actually, the experiencing that also. So please tell this about these 3 mudras, how it is to be done, and then as I demonstrated also, the Udana Mudra, for example, and then bronchial mudra, and then Prana. These 3 mudras are to be started immediately by him, and then 5 to 10 minutes each of these mudras he can do 3 times a day. He can do and then find out and then see that it has its definitely effect on him, definite advantageous effect on him. So please ask him to these 3 mudras immediately. That is very helpful. They're going to be very helpful. I hope you have followed these 3 mudras. That is the Udana Mudra. Except the small finger, other 4 tips are brought together like this. That is Udana Mudra, which is a very specific mudra for particular malady. Very advantageous mudra because it is concerned with the parts of the throat, the parts near the throat, and all those are brought into functioning by means of this particular mudra. That is very important. Then there are 2. So if he is able to do those 3 mudras, probably he will get slowly a relief out of that.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vinay. Next question, please.
Yeah, I have a question. My name is Rajesh. I'm from Bangalore. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Professor Iyer and Gangadhar for organizing this. In fact, it's an inspiration to see a professor at his age being in a position to talk so comfortably as this. And I'm sure that people of my age would want to be at least half as good as him, when we probably reach our 70s and 80s.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And Professor, I have one question for you and one question for Gangadhar also. In fact, these 3 mudras that you said, I'm very clear about that. I've also heard in parallel that even the Linga Mudra also helps, for COVID. So just wanted to understand your thoughts, whether it's an appropriate mudra or whether it really helps to do that as well.
But definitely, I'm very happy that you raised that particular point, and I should have mentioned that also. Surabhi Mudra, Linga Mudra plus this Surya Mudra, which is the ring finger brought at the base of the thumb, and the Linga Mudra, which is this particular type. That is, interlock the fingers and then do this one. I should have mentioned this also, but anyway, it's all right. Thank you for remembering me. And then this Linga Mudra and this Surya Mudra are very helpful to control cough.
Okay.
To control coughing, whether it is dry cough or whatever it is, this can control cough also. In fact, a very good question that you asked me, and this also should be remembered by other people also. If you have cough along with fever, please do Linga Mudras. Linga Mudra is one thing which cannot be done beyond about 15 to 20 minutes. Should not be done.
Okay.
Because it creates quite an amount of heat in the body. And then that heat can control this cold also. And then that is a very effective mudra against cold and cough both. So cough and cold can be controlled by means of Linga Mudra. You are very, very pertinent in asking this question. And this is really the answer for that. Right?
Sure.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Professor Iyer. We will ensure to do that as well if we come under a COVID attack. Definitely.
Yeah. Fourth, you can take it as a 4th mudra for this particular one.
Okay, sure, Professor Iyer. We will do that. And Gangadhar, you also mentioned about the homeopathic treatment that you and your family took when you developed the COVID symptoms or when you were under a COVID attack. So just want to understand that other than the 3 mudras that you would have done, you would have practiced what Professor told us. What are the homeopathic medicines that you took? Is it all right for me to understand or know that in this platform?
Yeah. I can briefly tell you because the answer also is very brief. So I don't know the name of the medicine that I took. And we have so much faith on our homeopathy doctor. We have one in Mysore who is also like 30-40 years into homeopathy. And we have one doctor in Hyderabad. So in this case, the Hyderabad doctor was near to us. Whatever she gave drops and she gave pills, typical of what is homeopathy. I just don't know the name of those things. but I can ask her, and then if you ping me on WhatsApp, I can tell what it is.
Sure. That's fine. And if you can just share the number of the doctor in Mysore, if it is okay with you to do that, that also will be great, Gangadhar.
Sure. No problem. Just send me a WhatsApp message.
Sure. Should I send it to you personally, or can I send it in the group? Shall I send the message to you personally?
Send me personally, because that doctor does not like too many people to be contacting him.
I understand.
So I just share it only with you.
Sure. That's fine. Always. Yeah. Thank you very much, Gangadhar and Professor. Thank you for being there for us and ensuring that, even during these times, you make it a point to come down on a platform like this, on an online platform like this, on a virtual platform like this, and help scores and scores of us to help alleviate us from issues such as a COVID. Yeah. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure for me to share. It's my pleasure to share with you whatever I could say.
Yeah, and I must also mention at this point of time that my father-in-law, who is sitting next to him, Mr. Lakshminath, he went to his house today. He picked him up, and then they are in my father-in-law's house. So that the Zoom and all those things are taken care of. Yeah, and the logistics is really huge, and I should thank my father-in-law and mother-in-law really to make these things happen for us. In fact, Mr. Lakshminath is the one who introduced Professor Iyer to us. So I'm very thankful to both of them.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you as well.
Yeah. 1 minute, Gangu. Gangu.
Yes.
Along with this mudras, 2 types of this pranayama is also helpful for COVID. Brahmari pranayama and Bastrika pranayama.
Okay. So do you want to quickly show that, or do you want to quickly show that, or shall I show Brahmari? Shall I show this one, Brahmari and Bastrika, or you want to show?
Yeah, okay. Or I can show it also.
No. Yeah. Go ahead and show it. Yeah.
See, keep your hand. This is called a Shanmuga Mudra. Okay. Ears, nose, and take a deep breath in. While breathing out, just press your nose and make the sound of a bee. Feel the vibration in your ear, and this one. This, when you breathe out and that sound comes, that time through your nostrils, nitrous oxide is created. This nitrous oxide kills the virus. That is why this Brahmari pranayama is very helpful for COVID.
Okay. Sure, sir.
That is one thing. Sure. Second thing is, keep your hands please. Bastrika pranayama. COVID is for lungs, breathing problem and all that. No? So we'll do like this. Take deep breath in, breathe out. So this strengthens your lung muscles. Thereby, your breathing problem in lungs and expands your lung muscles also. So your lungs are functioning of your lungs improves. Thereby, it is helpful for quick recovery from COVID. These are 2 pranayamas which we teach in our yoga therapist teaches in the Ayurvedic hospital.
Okay, sure, sir. What should be the duration for you to do each one, sir? What should be the approximate?
Bastrika pranayamas, starting you do about 5 to 10 times, then increase to 15, 20 maximum. And Brahmari pranayama, you can do it 5, 7 or 10, depending upon your convenience.
Okay. And when you do this, the second mudra that you said, the Bastrika, should you keep your fist or anything in a certain manner? Is anything required, or just should you?
No, just
you clench your fist?
Hand like this.
Okay.
Breathe in. Breathe out.
Okay.
Take deep breathe in, breathe out. Lungs get activated, lungs muscles.
Sure, sir. Sure. That's very helpful. Thank you very much, sir, for telling us about it. Yeah. Thank you very much for your for enlightening us on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you once again, Professor Iyer. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Gangadhar, for enlightening us. Thank you once again. Thank you all.
Thank you. Welcome. Next question, please.
Hi, I am Saurabh. I'm from Bangalore.
Yes,
Basically, me and my wife are tested positive, COVID positive yesterday. So most of the answers I got, but along with us, we have a 3-year-old kid as well. So anything for kids, anybody can suggest what we should do as such.
Okay.
Is the age
She is 3 years old.
Can she understand what what you say?
Yeah, definitely. She can converse with us. Yes.
Then you sit and you do what, first of all, and then ask her to repeat what you are doing. That's all.
Okay.
Or the same you can do. She also positive.
No, she is not positive yet. I mean, it's not being tested. Doctor said need not to test for her.
Communicate.
Yeah.
Then the same mudras can be communicated by you are doing it, and then ask her to repeat what you are doing.
Demonstrate.
Sure.
That is what is different. When you are doing, ask her
Sure.
to sit on one place, not by COVID distances that you maintain, and then
Sure.
you ask her to repeat what you are doing. Show
Do
her
them.
clearly what is to be done. That
Sure.
would be very helpful as a preventive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, Saurabh, one more thing that I would like to share with our experience of going through COVID last year. You see, we have to maintain this good mood in the house. Okay,
Yeah, that is
isn't it? So I'm sure you're doing it. And for
Yeah,
the benefit of everybody else also, I would like to say, like Professor Iyer said, there is God, right? There is something more than us, than what we think is. And everywhere there's bad news about all these things keep adding stress to this time. This time we have to be absolutely calm. So switch off all the news. There'll be many people who want to show their concern, but they don't know how to show the concern. But they'll transfer all their anxiety to you. You know what is happening? That person died. This person died. Okay, cut off all those things during these times. It's just that people don't know how to show their concern.
Sure,
Right? And in our case, what had happened is 3 of us were positive. One daughter was not positive. We did not bother too much about isolating her, making sure that everything is sanitized before giving to her and all that. God is there, right? He's watching everything. Okay, we focused on all 4 of us being happy during those 15 days because it took us 15 days to get over that. Okay,
Yes.
nowadays we are recovering more faster, na? So
Yeah.
I feel that a 3-year-old won't even understand why she is isolating, isn't it?
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I would say that don't bother about too much about you spreading it to her. As long as she's happy and then she is there and also trying to copy the mudras that you are doing, like Professor Iyer said, it is there's no way we can teach 3-year-old. If you just do, they will also do.
Yeah, they will also. Yeah. That she can manage, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, great, sir. Thank you.
If she's not testing positive, you need not teach her this mudras also. Anxiety unnecessary.
There should be no anxiety about this.
Don't be anxious.
Sure. No, we are not at all anxious as such. It's going fine. Just wanted to check if something is there for kids as well. So yeah.
Very good. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Next question, please. At the end, if there are no questions, I would like to tell some of the common mistakes that we do, which Professor Iyer has taught me, and I've also seen in many people when we have tried to help. So we will take one last question, and after that, I will move on to that. All right. So if there are no questions, then let's quickly move on to some of the common mistakes that we do while doing mudras. The first and foremost is, for example, if we are doing Udana Mudra like this, let me maybe remove this. Give me a second.
Our construct.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're doing Udana Mudra, okay, that these three fingers are coming to the tip of the thumb, isn't it? So what is important is, if you, this is the right way to do, okay, this, the pads touching each other will not give you the effect. Okay. Initially, this is the most common mistake that I've seen people are doing, that they do like this, or even if they remember to keep like this in the beginning, after 5 seconds, automatically the hand goes, because this is more comfortable. If the pads are touching, you will not get the intended benefit. It has to be like this, right? And then this little finger being straight, it depends on you. For some people, it will be, it can go only this much. For some, it will be like this. It's okay. Do whatever is comfortable. Okay. But most important is, it has to touch like this, not like this. Okay. This is of no use. Then the second common mistake is pressing too much, because we've been taught that very good results come only when we do hard work. We try to press it very hard. Not required. Okay. We just gently touching is what will happen. It will make it easier for you, because if you press it hard, it will start throbbing after some time. Right? If it starts throbbing, you will not keep it. You will just let it go. If you let it go, the results are not gone. You can just keep it back. But if you keep it continuously, it is better. Those of you who cannot keep it continuously, even after light touch, you can do it in installments. Okay. You can do it like 10 minutes, then leave it, take a break, and then do it again for 10 minutes, and then do it again for 10 minutes. Okay. 30 minutes should be fine. For example, what I used to do is, when I used to get too much pain, what I used to do is this Shunya Vayu Mudra. This used to give me relief for pain. Okay. This is also the tip of these two fingers goes to the bottom of the line where it meets, no, bottom, and then this gently goes on top of it. Not very much pressing, just gently, and the other two one like this. Okay. I used to, this is a locking position by itself. I used to just keep this and then sleep off. I don't even know for how long I keep it. Right. And in both the hands is even better. One hand is fine. Okay. Any one hand is also fine. Okay. But if you can do in both, very good. Then the third thing is, please do not wear any rings, metal rings during this one, or don't wear a bracelet or a watch also. Okay. Your hands should be totally free. Usually what we have seen is people who grow nails, for them, they will not be able to keep like this. They will try to keep it like this or like this, because the nails are going to come in the way. So cut your nails before doing this. Nails will always grow. Without nails, it's really easy to keep like this. Okay. And then after every mudra that you do, if you follow it up with Prana Mudra, it is very good. Okay. Like if you do Udana Mudra, let's say this mudra for 30 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever time, you do Prana Mudra for 5 minutes after that. And then after that, let's say you do Shunya Vayu Mudra or bronchial mudra or even Pranam. Anyway, Professor Iyer told that you can do Prana Mudra to increase that circulation inside your body. So it's exactly for that only. After any therapeutic mudra, we try to do this mudra. All right. So this is something that I wanted to say. Thank you everyone for joining. Again, if you want to buy the book, my number is there on the left bottom corner of the screen, and this is also getting recorded on YouTube. You can always reach out to me, and then I will help you to get that book. It will be couriered from Mysore to you. Those of you who want a recording of the classes can also contact me. All right. Sure. Thanks, Professor Iyer.
Gangadhar, just one small question. This is Rajesh back here.
Yes, Rajesh.
There's no clarity in your video. Just could you just show us, the bronchial mudra a little, the way you showed us the other mudras? You could just could you just show us the bronchial mudra that Professor Iyer showed us?
Hold on 1 second. I did not use bronchial mudra, so I'm not very aware. Let me put Professor Iyer back on the spot. And
I'll show you that particular thing. You see, the small catch hold of the small finger, and bring it to the base of the thumb. Base of the thumb, first part. So the second is ring finger, midpoint of the thumb. The joint is there, near the joint. And The third one is at the top of the thumb. And this is free. Index finger is free. And the other are base, middle, and top of the thumb. Thumb as the base.
Okay.
You use the thumb, and then to the base of that thumb, bring the small finger.
Okay.
And to the midpoint of the thumb, bring the ring finger. And to the top of the thumb, bring the middle finger.
Middle finger. Okay.
That is bronchial mudra.
Sure. Got that. Got
If
that.
you have got the book, if you have got the book, that is very clear out.
Sure. Sure. I have the book, Professor. I will look into that as
that
well.
will be very good.
Sure.
That will be very good. It will give you a clear indication.
Sure. Thank you, Professor Iyer. Thank you, Gangadhar, for all your tips. You know, that's very, very helpful.
Yeah, sure. Most welcome. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being there on Saturday evening. I hope it was, the information will help you in getting over COVID whenever you get, and I hope you don't get ever. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Professor Iyer. It's always a pleasure to have you in our sessions. You are always inspiring. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you for the 3 panelists. Yeah. Thank you.
Was not in.
ಆಯ್ತು ಕಣ. How are you? ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ 1 second. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನೀವು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲಾಗ್ ಔಟ್.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lakshminath.
Okay.
Gangadhar, ಆರಾಮ?
ಆರಾಮ್ ಕಣ, ನೀನು?
ಆರಾಮ. ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳಾಗೋಯ್ತು ಒಂದೇ?
ಹೌದೌದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಕೌಂಟ್. ನಾನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಕೌಂಟ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ಯಾ ಈಗ?
ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಣ, ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಲಿವರ್ಪೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಹೌದಾ? ನೀನ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ನನ್ಗೇನೋ ಫೇಸ್ ಕಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಅಚ್ಚು ಹಂಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಂಗೆ.
ನೀನೇನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಯಾ? ನೀನು ಹಂಗೆ?
ನಾನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಹಂಗೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂದೆ.
ಹಂಗೆ ಇದೀನಾ? ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟು ಸಿ ಯು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ.
ಸೇಮ್ ಇಯರ್.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಆರಾಮ್ ಕಣ.
12:15 ಕಣ, 12:15, 12:30 ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್.
ಜೋರ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜೋರ. ಇವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಫುಲ್ ಸೆಟ್ಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಯುಕೆನೇ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ ನೀನ್ ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ?
ಏನು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಅದರ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ವರ್ಕ್, ವೈಫ್, ಕಿಡ್ಸ್, ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಫಾಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ.
ಹೌದೌದು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಕ್ಳು?
ಇಬ್ರು ಕಣ, 2 ಬಾಯ್ಸ್. Tanav is 13 and Anish is 6. Both Tanav will be 14 soon and Anish will be 7 soon.
Okay, nice.
Ananya and Amulya ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಅನನ್ಯ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಮೂಲ್ಯ.
ಎಷ್ಟೀಗ 9 ಅವರು?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ 11 ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್.
Okay. Twins ಅಲ್ಲ?
Twins ಕಣ.
Fantastic.
I saw maybe your father also joined today. Is it? ಯಾರೋ ಬಸವರಾಜು ಅಂತ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು?
ಪಾಪ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು. ನೀನ್ ಕಳ್ಸಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. So he is also joined.
ಅವರು ಇದಾರೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದಾರೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. I don't know whether he is able to listen to us or not.
Not sure. Let me just have a look. I think he's on mute. Yeah.
He's on mute.
Sir,
ಕೇಳು ಇದಾರ ಅಂತ? Can he come live ಅಂತ? It's been ages
ಅಪ್ಪ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಮೈಕ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಪ್ಪ.